Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. I'm Christopher Bell, certified public accountant, long-term boglehead investor, author of the book Stopping a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon for $3 for the ebook, an amazing designer of t-shirts and coffee mugs. You can check them out in the link below. Today, we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, the FIRE movement, also known as financial independence. Retire early. How do I feel about the validity of this movement, which is defined as being able to save so much money that you're able to stop working entirely and live off the money that you've accumulated? Well, in my humble opinion, I think for the average person, the FIRE movement is complete and utter BS and is not feasible. Here is why. The average person needs a decent chunk of change to survive. I would say if you have a family, you probably need about $4 or $5 grand a month. If you're single, you could probably live off way less. And this, of course, is dependent on where you live. So don't be, oh my God, Strongman, that's not right. It's really dependent on where you live. But at the end of the day, you need a lot of money saved to be able to generate enough income to retire. Now, the main rule is called the 4% rule. What happens is you take your savings and you multiply it, or you take out 4% per year, and you increase the 4% withdrawal by inflation every year, and that's supposed to last you your entire life. Well, let's say that you want to generate $5,000 a month, or you need $5,000 a month to really be able to retire, okay? And you got to pay for healthcare and all that stuff, so you might even need more because you retired early, you're not working. You're going to need $1.5 million to generate $5,000 of monthly income. $1.5 million. Now, I know all you Shiba Inu investors and your Tesla people, y'all got so much money, you're so rich, even though you haven't, sold your stock or your coin, which means you have unrealized capital gains, which means if there's a correction, then all your gains go away. So, you should probably sell it if you make a lot of money, but this isn't financial advice. But think about it this way. Do you think the average person can accumulate $1.5 million quickly? Be honest, okay? I don't want to hear about you freaking options trading BS. The average person who's able to save 5-10% of their income, maybe. How fast do you think they can save $1.5 million? Especially if they have kids. Probably takes a while to do that, okay? So in my humble opinion, I think the FIRE movement is complete BS for the vast, vast majority of people. What I've noticed with FIRE is that it's usually highly compensated individuals, so like tech people or, well, maybe not doctors, but, people that make a lot of money. Computer people, computer science people, stuff like that. Because they can make a ton of money and then just shovel it away, and then they can retire and severely reduce their lifestyle. That's possible if you are highly, 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 highly compensated. If you're not going to be able to save enough, quickly enough, to retire, or at least how FIRE defines retirement. So, what I've done is I've redefined FIRE for myself. I currently have about $400,000 saved, and most of that's in tax advantage accounts. So I could generate, maybe about $1,200 per month. I mean, to be honest, I could probably live off that if I worked a little bit, but there's no way in heck I could, retire right now. It'd be freaking crazy, especially because I have kids. But all these FIRE people, they're like childless, most of them are. And, they have like tech jobs. So I think this movement is BS. Now, here's how I have redefined the FIRE movement. Being financially independent and retiring early means being financially independent from a W-2 corporation or government job, or any kind of job where you have to go and work for somebody else. Because when you work for somebody else, you're not financially independent. You're basically a wage slave, and you're kind of a B word that has to do whatever your boss says. And if you don't, you get fired, you lose all your money, and then you're freaking screwed, okay? You're basically a slave. Now, I know you're not actually a slave, I don't want to offend anybody, but you're basically a wage slave. You're subject to the whims and, feelings of your boss. So there's basically two ways you can support yourself. You can be self-employed, which means you work for yourself and you're an employee. That's basically the two options. In my opinion, if you can support yourself and live a good life while you're self-employed, you're retired. You're not beholden to anybody. You are completely free to do whatever you want. For example, I tutor on the side, okay? Requires a lot of work. I have to get off my normal job and then work extra hours. But with my tutoring gig, if somebody pisses me off or disrespects me or treats me like crap or is an idiot, I don't have to work with them. I can say, okay, you're an idiot. I don't want to work with you. Simple as that. Imagine you go to your little job, okay? And I know everybody needs a job. But imagine you go to work and you have an idiot boss. What are you going to do? You can't do anything. You can't do anything. So your boss, can treat you like crap, make you feel bad, screw you over. It doesn't matter because you're a wage slave. You have no choice. You are not free, okay? The freedom of self-employment, which I define as FIRE, is that you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. You just have to actually do a little bit of hustle and make some money, okay? That's the hard part that scares most people. Now, here's the thing. You do need to get some kind of skill, okay? For me, it's accounting. I got my CPA license. I'm able to tutor. I'm applying to college professor jobs. I can do YouTube. I can analyze stocks. I know how to read financial statements, okay? And, of course, I consider myself to be an entertainer as well. But that's kind of like a skill that you inherit almost. I don't know if you can develop that. Those are all skills that I have developed because I ultimately want to be self-employed, 100% self-employed. I never want to have to listen to some stupid freaking idiot boss that is a complete moron and a loser and have to do anything they say because I want to be able to set my own terms and not have to worry about it. And honestly, I'm basically there because some things changed and now I'm getting more passive income than I thought I was. So I'm basically there, but just give it some time. Give it some time. Let's build this YouTube channel up a little bit. Now, let's compare being self-employed, which I define as FIRE, financially independent. You can support yourself. You don't have to be beholden to anybody. Okay? Nobody. Versus employees, who I'm starting to become more and more disdainful of. But I understand if you have a family and you need your job. Okay? Self-employed. You choose your own hours. 100% true, okay? Compare that to being an employee. You need to be here from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And you need to sit there, and even if you don't have work, you need to stay because you need to look busy. It's stupid, okay? I hate having to go somewhere for 8 hours, do 2 hours of work, and then I waste my potential with the other 6 hours doing absolutely freaking nothing. When you're self-employed, you have 2 hours of work, boom, you're done. Then you can go pursue other work activities, or you can maybe go enjoy your free time. The next thing, self-employed, unlimited vacation. Now, we all know that's kind of BS because you have to work, you have to support yourself. But eventually, if you get to a point where you're generating massive passive income, which you can do by having multiple side gigs, being highly skilled, and by providing really good service to people, you can take as much vacation as you want. Compare that to an employee. Well, we can't approve your leave because I'm the boss and I'm powerful and I don't like you. And yeah, and if you talk back to me, you're fired. Oh, being an employee is so amazing. Self-employed, unlimited income. That's absolutely true. It's all based on you. Now, I work a bunch of extra hours. Okay, I work a lot of extra hours, and I love it. I feel like I'm working for myself, okay? Every extra hour I work benefits me and my family. I like that, okay? I can work as much as I possibly want, or I can scale it back, maybe if I'm exhausted. You compare that to an employee. If you're not good at kissing butt, let me break it to you, okay? Especially if you're young and you're starry-eyed. When you're an employee, it's all about kissing butt, okay? I learned that very quickly in the Army and in my current job. That's all it's about. Okay? Sorry to shatter your dreams. So, if you're good at kissing butt and playing your stupid office politics, sure, okay, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be a great little employee, a little wagey. But if you're not good at kissing butt, but you do have a skill that people value, why would you work for a corporation, okay? Because you have to deal with politics, stupid people, blah, blah, blah. Self-employed, you work for yourself. Somebody pisses you off, tell them to suck it. Done. It's beautiful. I love it, okay? I'm not made to be an employee. I am not good at kissing butt. Your workplace is your own. That's 100% true. This office in my house, I can deduct this on my tax return. I can take depreciation, part of my electricity, part of my utilities, everything, and I can deduct that from my business profits. And then, my business income. And then on top of that, I get an additional 20% deduction called the Qualified Business Income Deduction, which was passed by the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in 2017, I believe. I get a bunch of deductions that a wagey cannot take. If you work for a corporation and you get a W-2, you're not self-employed, all the crap you have to buy for your home office, you don't get to deduct that. You can't take depreciation on your home. I can. I can deduct my computer, my freaking camera that freezes that I freaking hate, this light, this microphone. I can deduct all of it. Boom, section 179. Write it all off. It's beautiful, okay? That means I pay way less taxes than a wagey, okay? So I get more freedom. I get more time to myself. I get to set my own pace. I don't have to listen to freaking losers. If I don't like somebody, I can tell them to F off. It's great. And I get a bunch of deductions, okay? It all sounds pretty good to me. Now, I never realized how much I really wanted to be self-employed until pretty recently. Because I've always been an employee. I was in the Army. I was an officer in the Army. Oh, my God. You want to talk about freaking politics and BS? The Army's super cutthroat, okay? Because how it works is, after 20 years, you can get a pension, okay? You get a pension for life. Now, that pension is not guaranteed. As an officer, you have to compete for promotions. And every promotion, it gets harder to get promoted to the next rank. And if you don't make it to a certain rank, or you don't make it to 20 years, they kick you out. They literally kick you out, and you don't get anything. So you could potentially do like 17 years in the Army, being a good little soldier, and your boss just turns out to be a freaking loser or scumbag. You didn't fluff me well enough, Mr. Bell, so I'm not going to give you a great OER. And if that's the case, guess what? You get kicked out of the Army. You don't get promoted. You're done, son. And you don't get a pension. And now you're out of the Army. You have no skills. So you better hope you get disability or you go back to school or something. Why would you want to freaking do that? I mean, I get it. If you're really good at being an employee, I understand. That's fine. But instead of having to deal with that garbage, having to worry about, oh, did I piss off my boss? Oh, is he going to give me a bad OER? Like every freaking year and have to compete with all these cutthroat other officers. Do your own freaking thing, okay? It requires you to have a skill, but it's way, way better in the long run, in my opinion. I was so much happier when I got out of the military. And now I have another job. It's okay, but I find myself more motivated to work, and I'm more productive, and I do better when I'm working for myself instead of working for some corporation that doesn't give a crap about you. So anyway, that whole rant aside, I think FIRE is being self-employed. The second I can generate enough income, and I'm basically there, I can generate enough income to quit my job and survive and support my family, I consider myself retired, and it's a glorious freaking feeling because I like to say whatever I want and do whatever I want and not have to kiss butt. Oh, please promote me. Please, I'm a good employee. Don't be that person, okay? You'll be so much happier. Yeah, it's a little risky to be self-employed, but you'll be so much happier when you own your own life. That is financial independence, everybody. That is retiring early, okay? You're not actually going to retire early. You're going to go freaking insane if you don't work or do something. You can't just retire and just sit on the beach. Be a loser. No. You need to work or do something or have a passion project. You're going to go freaking nuts. So, that's my rant on the FIRE movement. It's BS. Become self-employed. Anyway, like, subscribe, tell your friends about me. Y'all have a wonderful day. Chew!